So first of all, good morning. How is everybody today? Good?
Good.
Oh, I see all these people with bridge moods today. That's good when you're in a bridge mood, okay? So today will be the last full lesson. Let me explain to you what's going to happen the next
Can I
four
mic
weeks.
you up real quick?
Oh, yeah. Okay, just hook me up. I gotta remember not to say things when I'm hooked up here.
I try to edit out anything that you wouldn't want on there.
Otherwise, my wife will kill me, no, just But, so the next 4 weeks are gonna be fun. What we're gonna do is, everything you've learned till now is gonna be, you're gonna be able to visualize it with cards. You're gonna bid and play hand. We're gonna have, you know what? One thing I'll have to get, Dick, is those bidding boxes. We were gonna use bidding box. They're actually in that room down there. We'll give them in a sec. You know where they are?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I can find them.
Yeah, we need about 20 bidding boxes.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to use bidding boxes, and you're going to be bidding and playing a hand. Whether you bid the hand correctly or not, or play the hand correctly or not, is sort of immaterial. I want you to go ahead and get some practice. After each hand, I will put them on the board. We will explain to you how the bidding should have gone and why, and then we'll talk about how the hand should have been played. We'll talk about what you should have led. The two things are what? Does everyone remember the two things we taught you what to lead? What are the two things you normally lead?
Top of the sequence.
Top of the sequence, Jack, 10, 9, King, Queen, or fourth from what? Longest to strongest. So if you have King, Jack, 8, 5, 2, you will lead the 5. That's your fourth best. Obviously, if you have an Ace, King, you can lead the Ace, or Ace, King, Queen, you lead the Ace when you have the top 2 or 3 honors. So we're going to go over that next week, but you're going to be playing all the hands, bidding all the hands. So this way you get your feet wet and you get exposed to how to bid and play a hand, okay? Today, you're going to learn something brand new, just what you wanted to hear. Right? We're going to overload those brain cells. Actually, what you're going to learn today is something that is very important. So when you play a bridge hand, you're going to learn today, and how many people have heard the terminology? Of course, some people already play bridge, finesse. Does everybody know what a finesse is? So we've heard the terminology finesse. You're going to learn what that is today and how to accomplish a finesse. Last week we talked about major suits, okay? Opening a major suit and raising a major suit. Today we're going to talk about a minor suit. So when someone opens a club or a diamond, responding to a club or a diamond, okay? So let me go over a couple of things with you. Can everybody see this board? Can everybody see this? Okay. Okay, so how many points do we see with this hand? How many points do we have?
13.
Ace of spades is how much?
4.
King of hearts is how much?
3.
Ace is 4 and the queen is 2, so we have 6. So we have a total of 13 points. Do we have to open this hand?
Yes.
Yes. Whenever you have 13 points or more, or if you have 12 points in a 5-card major, you have to open this hand. So therefore, how do you open this hand? Just go, if you're not sure, you can't remember because Pierre's overloaded your brain cells, just start going suit by suit by suit. Can we open a spade?
No.
Because we don't have how many?
5.
Can we open a heart?
No.
No. So therefore, by process of elimination, you have to open either a club or a diamond. Which suit is longer?
Club.
Then you open what? Isn't bridge so simple? I don't even know why I'm teaching this class. Okay, so you would open this hand one club. So now that we know you open this hand one club, then you have to learn how to respond to one club, okay? How many points does your partner have to answer you, and the terminology in bridge is respond. How many points does your partner have to respond to you? 6. 6, not 6 to 9, 6 or more, like Long John Silver, 6 or more, okay? So they have to have at least 6 points to respond to your opening bid, okay? So I'm just going to give you some example hands, but we're going to talk about how to respond to one club, okay? So this is your partner's hand here, right across from you, and this is their hand. Not a great hand. Are there at least 6 points?
Can't see the bottom. Yeah. Just 6.
4 and 1 is what? 5 and 1 is what? So therefore, they have to do something. They cannot what? Pass. They can never pass. So whenever you have 6 points or more, you have to answer your partner. Okay? So therefore, in bridge, when you respond to your partner and you have a 4-card suit, preferably a 4-card major, then you have to respond. So the response would be 1 spade. What does 1 spade communicate to your partner? I have at least how many points? 6 or more, and I have at least what? 4 spades. It does not say that my spades are ace, king, queen. It never tells your partner where your points are. Never. It just tells your partner that you have what? 6 points amongst these 4 suits. That's all it says. I have at least 6 points. Could you have 20 points to respond? Yes. 6 points is the minimum. 6 points is the minimum that you have to respond. So you could have 20, you could have 16. In fact, if you had 20 and your partner opened the bidding, you know you have at least what? 33 points between you, and you know you cannot stop short of game. In the future, you'll learn that you might be in the slam zone, but that's not for today's lesson. So when you have 6 points or more, you have to do something. And in bridge, when we answer a partner, we try to describe our hand, and you always like to locate a 4/4 fit in a major suit if you have it. So 1 spade would be the response saying I have 6 points or more. Do I have an eraser? Huh? Oh, here's one right here. I found one. Thank you for bringing that in.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's change this hand. I'm just going to say I have 2 8s of clubs. Okay. How many points do I have in this hand? 8. Therefore, I have to do what? Respond. I have to answer my partner. Okay? So what do I answer? Okay? So with the major suits, we learned that anytime you raise your partner, 1 heart, 2 hearts, 1 spade, 2 spades, you guarantee that you have how many between you?
10.
8. Partner, when partner opens a heart or a spade, how many do they promise? 5. So you need 3 to guarantee what? An 8-card fit. Right. So 1 heart, 2 hearts says partner, we have an 8-card fit. I know you have 5 because when you open 1 heart, you have to have what? 5. So you're always looking for that 8-card fit in bridge. You're always looking for that 8-card fit. So in this case, when partner opens a club, you look at your hand, and when you always, and by the way, bridge is served like, not that everything's the same in bridge in terms of one club, two clubs, one diamond, two diamonds, one heart, two hearts, one spade, two spades. They're all the same. Partner, I'm guaranteeing an 8-card fit, and what's the range of points? 6 to 9. That's when it's 6 to 9. When you raise your partner's suit, you're telling your partner a specific point range. Okay? One spade, two spades. I have 6 to 9, and we have a fit in what? Spades. Same thing with clubs. One club, two clubs says, how many clubs could partner have to open one club? As few as how many? 3, right? If you held 4 spades, 3 hearts, 3 diamonds, and 3 clubs, couldn't you only have 3 clubs? You can't open a heart or a spade because you don't have what? So by process elimination, you have to open 1 club. So 1 club could be as few as 3 in order to guarantee an 8-card fit. To guarantee an 8-card fit, how many clubs do you have to raise them? 5. Notice the majors and minors are just the opposite. 1 heart or 1 spade guarantees how many?
5.
But 1 club or 1 diamond, you could have as few as how many? 3. That's why you need 5 clubs or 5 diamonds to raise partner, and only 3 hearts and 3 spades to raise partner, because when you raise 2 hearts or 2 spades over 1 heart or 1 spade, you already know they have 5. So all you need is 3 to raise them. But when they open a club, they could have as few as 3, therefore you need what? 5 to raise them. You'll learn later on in intermediate bridge and later on as you understand the game better and it comes to you a little bit easier, there are exceptions, but we're not here to talk about exceptions so today. So here you would fit 2 clubs because you know you have how many between you? At least 8. In this case we have 9, but you don't know that. When they open a club, you know they have at least what? 3. So when you raise in club, you're saying, partner, we have at least how many between us? 8. That's how bridge is played. You always, in bridge, your goal in bridge is to locate an 8-card fit. If you don't have an 8-card fit, then you're going to play probably in what? No trump, probably 98% of the time. Okay? There are exceptions. Again, we're not going to cover the exceptions today. We're just covering the general rules. Okay? So in this case, you have the range of 6 to 9, so you raise to 2 clubs. Okay? Now, let me give you another example hand. Remember we told you that you're always looking to find a 4-4 fit in a major? So what if you have this hand? Okay. Someone will say, I have 2 6s, so I'll make it a 5. How many points do I have? 8 is right. 4 and 1 is 5, and 2 is 7, and 1 is 8. So do I have to do something? Okay. So I have to say something. Okay? Can I bet a heart or a spade? Can I respond? Because I don't have at least how many? 4. You need 4 to respond. 5 to what? Open. 4 to do what? Respond. Whenever you answer your partner, you need 4 to respond, not 5. 5 to open, 4 to respond. Do I have 4 hearts or 4 spades?
No.
But I have to do something, right? So, I can't raise the 2 clubs because I don't have 5. Partner could have as few as 3, right? I can't bet a diamond because I don't have 4. Can't bet a heart because I don't have 4. Can't bet a spade because I don't have 4. So the response that you would make would be 1 no trump. Now, 1 no trump opening is 50 to 17. 1 no trump response. Remember, you're answering your partner. You're responding. That shows. You know what it tells partner? You won't believe it. It tells your partner so many things. How can a 1 no trump response tell your partner so many things? Let me show you all the things it tells your partner. Do I have 4 hearts?
No.
If I had 4 hearts, I'd have said what? 1 heart. So it tells your partner you don't have what? 4 hearts. Do I have 4 spades? No, because if I had 4 spades, I would have answered what? 1 spade. So the one no trump response says, partner, I don't have 5 clubs for you. I don't have 4 hearts for you. I don't have 4 spades for you because you didn't bid any of them. Therefore, one no trump says, partner, I have 6 to 9 points. A response of one no trump shows exactly 6 to 9 points, denies 4 hearts, denies 4 spades, and denies 5 clubs. Isn't bridge cool? One bid can tell your partner all these things. And folks, that's an example. This is just the cusp of this. That's an example of how bridge is played. When you don't bid something, you don't have it. When you don't bid something, you don't have it. So then, if your partner has 4 hearts or 4 spades, they're not interested in trying to find a fit in the majors because they know you don't have what? 4 of them. So that is how the key to bridge, to playing the game of bridge, for those of you that have never played before, is communication. It's one of the few card games, in fact, it might be the only card game, that you bid back and forth to find a particular contract that you can both agree on based on your actual holding of your hand. So you're both bidding back and forth, describing your hand, and you're also counting your points. And if you know you have more than 25 points or more, you're going to be in game. If you don't, you're going to stop. But you're always trying to find a fit in a suit. So the one no trump response says, I have 6 to 9. Remember, anytime you answer a suit, it's 6 or more. Only the one no trump bid, or when you raise your partner's suit, shows 6 to 9 specifically. And I think did I give you a handout on that? If I didn't, I will give you one next week. I'll double check my folders to see what I gave you, but I'll give you a handout on that next week. So again, when you can't answer 1 heart or 1 spade, and you can't raise your partner's suit, one no trump is a common response in bridge. It happens a lot, okay? We're not going to give you a whole lot, we're just teaching the basics of how to respond today, okay? Okay, so now I'm going to give you, we're going to use this hand as an example. This is a good hand as an example. I'm going to change the hand a little bit. And so let's say you're playing this hand. Let's count our winners here. We're going to switch gears. Let's count our winners here. How many spade winners can we take? Let's say we're playing one no trump. How many spade winners can we see right away? 1. We have no heart winners to start with. We have 1 diamond winner, and we have 1 club winner. So if you're in one no trump, you're how many tricks short? 4. You need 4 more, right? So when you're short 4 winners, you're playing a contract, you always want to identify how can I take 4 more winners, okay? So obviously in hearts, once the heart honor, the ace is dislodged, you're going to get at least 1 heart trick because you have the king, queen between you, okay? So we know we can get at least 1 more heart winner, and we know what else do we see that we might be able to get in a different suit. Okay, look at the club suit. Look at the club suit. Now, what honor are we missing that's between the ace and the queen? The king. In bridge, if you play the ace of clubs, you're basically saying, king, wherever art thou, take me. That's what you're saying when you play the ace. Because you don't care where the ace is, you're willing to give up a club. But that's not how we play bridge. Bridge is played not like that. Notice if the king is located down here, let's say the king is here, and we lead a club and we play the queen, is the queen going to win?
No.
Yes. If the king is here,
Yeah, if the king isn't played.
if the king is down here, in between these two, you're leading from this hand and the king is down here, you're leading towards the ace queen. So if you play the queen is what? Gonna win. In bridge, we call that a finesse. In other words, the king can only be in two places, right? It can be here, or it could be behind the ace-queen, correct? Am I right? Remember, there's only 4 hands at the table. So if the ace-queen is there and I'm leading a club towards the ace-queen, if the king is here and I play the queen, it's gonna win. If the king is behind the ace-queen, it's gonna lose, right? Is that 50%? Right? It wins half the time when it's here, and it loses half the time when it's here. So therefore, when you're trying, another terminology is trap, but in bridge we call this a finesse. Okay, a finesse means you're trapping the king of clubs. You're hoping that the king of clubs is favorably located so you can gain an extra trick. If you just play the ace, you're not going to gain an extra trick because you only have 2, right? You only have 2 here. So if you're playing a suit contract and you play a club with a queen and it wins, then you can play the ace. Now you have no more clubs, right? Now if you lead another club, if spades was trump, you could do what? Trump the club. So in bridge we call this a finesse, okay? It's when you're trying to trap a card. I'm going to give you a bunch more examples here.
I have a question first.
Pardon me?
Whoops, you just erased it.
Yeah.
Never mind.
That's okay, go ahead and ask your question.
On that heart, because I had the king
Well,
plus
we'll talk about, I want to talk about finesses later on. I was just giving you an example how you can develop an extra trick.
Well, that's what I was gonna ask.
You can develop more than one possibly,
okay.
but I don't want to go over that
Okay.
right now.
Okay.
I would just show you how to develop extra tricks. So, but you're right, what you're saying is right. I just don't want to get ahead of myself, you know, because that's sort of advanced to go over, you know, but you're right. So let's go ahead and give you this hand here. This should open your eyes a little bit. Oops. I wanted to make an ace and I started drawing a circle. Look at that suit combination. Does everybody agree on sheer power? Because you got everything but what?
King.
The king. That you can take at least 3 tricks.
Correct.
Right? Does everybody see you can take at least 3 tricks in that suit? Because you're only missing the king, so out of these 4, you're going to take at least 3. But that's not how you play bridge. That's not how you play bridge. In bridge, we never settle for 3 of the 4. We want to get what?
4.
All 4 of the 4, if possible. So what you do is, let's say you lead the jack. Okay, let's say you lead the jack. Because you're trying to do what? Trap or finesse what? The king. So if the king is here, what do you want this person to do with this hand? They have the king 6-3. What do you want them to do? They play the king. Don't you have now 4 tricks? You're going to win the ace and all your other diamonds are good. Does everybody see that? So did we take 3 tricks or 4 tricks? 4. If the jack loses to the king, we are no worse off than we were to begin with. But if you just play the ace to begin with, aren't you guaranteed to lose to the king?
No.
So half the time, when the king is located favorably, we're going to do what? Gain an extra trick. When the king is not located favorably, c'est la vie. We tried for the extra trick. It wasn't in the cards. Remember, the finesse is 50% guaranteed. But sometimes the finesse is 100% guaranteed. Now you're going to think, is he talking out of his mouth? Well, let's say, think about what I'm saying. If the dummy has 13 points, okay? And you have 14 points, how much is that? 27. And the person to your left opened the bidding, how many do they have? 13, right? What's 13, 14, and 13? 40. Isn't that all the points in the deck? So if you're going to finesse this person, why would it be 100%? Because that person can't have any points. Right?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So when I say sometimes a finesse is 100%, when you know the point count, when you know where everything's at, sometimes you can take a finesse knowing it's going to win 100%, because the bidding sometimes will give you the clue to where all the points are. So if the dummy has 13 and you have 14, which is 27, and the person you're allowed to open the bidding, if you're missing a queen, for example, and you can either trap the queen here or trap the queen there, where are you going to trap it? The person who opened the bidding, because you know they have to have that queen. Because if they didn't have that queen, they could not have what? Opened the bidding. Does everybody understand what I'm saying about? Because you need how many points to open the bidding? 13. So bridge is a game of paying attention, and there's always clues in bridge on how to play a hand sometimes. You'll learn that with experience as you start understanding the game better and playing the game. I'm giving you some tips now that I usually don't share in beginning bridge, but I wanted to go ahead and just let you know that even though the finesse is 50-50, when the opponents are both silent, it's 50-50, but sometimes it's more than that if the opponents have bid, because now they're giving you a clue to probably where the points are. Does everybody understand what I'm saying? Okay, just a little tip, and that'll help you play the hands better sometimes. And I don't know, for those of you that read the World Herald about Unlucky Louis, he's always they have bridge hands, and they have comments about he's always saying he's so unlucky. And then there's Lucky Larry, and they talk about how he would play the hand. He plays it slightly different because he paid attention to what? The bidding. Okay? So let me give you one more example of a finesse. So let's say you have this suit. If the suit, you have 8 of them, right? So you're missing how many? 5. So that means the suit, hopefully, the majority of the time, it's breaking what? 3-2. One person has 3, one person has 2. Obviously, if you play the ace-king and then play another spade, you're going to end up with 3 tricks, right? The ace-king, and then you play another spade. So you'll take 3 of the 4 tricks. Does everybody understand what I just said? Okay, I want to make sure everybody understands. You're only missing 5. That means if one person has 3 and one person has 2, when you play the ace-king, they have none, and this person will have 1 left. Everybody follow me so far? Then if you play another spade, your 4th spade, your long spade, will be a trick, and you'll end up with 3 of the 4. But that's not how bridge is played. Okay? So let me show you how the bridge player, this is called a finesse 2, wants to take all 4 tricks. You're going to hear the terminology in bridge: 8 always, 9 never. Okay? And what 8 always, 9 never means is when you hit 9 trumps between you, you're missing how many? 4. You just play the ace-king. You hope that the 4 cards you're missing are breaking what? 2-2, even. But when you're missing 5 cards, you never play the ace-king. Let me show you how you can gain an extra trick in this suit too. In bridge, we call this, again, this is another part of finesse. We're going to give you lots of examples here. So how you play this hand, you play the king first, and then you play the 3, and what card are you missing? The queen. You want to trap the queen, or in bridge we say you want to what? Finesse the queen. So you play the king first, and you play a small one, and you're going to play the jack. You're hoping the queen is where? Down here. If the queen is here, and the jack wins, and they break 3-2, how many tricks in the suit are you going to take? All of them. All of them. Now, if the queen is behind the jack, c'est la vie. You would have lost it what? Anyway. Now, sometimes the queen will be only 2 behind here, and someone will say, well, Pierre, if you'd have played the ace-king, you'd have dropped the queen. Yes, that'll happen sometimes. But bridge is a game of mathematical percentages. That's why if the finesse works 70% of the time, you gain an extra trick. And when you play the ace-king, you drop the queen 30% of the time. Do you want a 70% score or a 30% score? So that's why a finesse usually will benefit you and get you an extra trick. So this is another way to take all 4 tricks in the suit. You play the king first, and then you play small to the jack to do what? Trap the queen. And if the jack wins, and this person follows, the ace now will fell the queen of hearts. And now you'll take how many tricks in the suit? All 4. I'm just showing you different ways of how you can get 4 tricks. Let me give you another one. So let's say this is your hand here. Fine in hand. Notice your mirror. All the suits are equal, the same here. So here you're playing 4 spades. Okay? You're playing 4 spades. So again, this contract, if you just play the 8, let's say you play the ace king of spades, the ace king of hearts, the ace king of diamonds, and the ace of clubs. You just took all your winners. Well, you could lose 1 spade, you could lose 1 heart, you could lose 1 diamond, you could lose 1 club. Does everybody agree with me? If you just took all your winners, you could lose 4 tricks. Well, if you're in 4 spades, isn't that down 1?
Yep.
That's not how you play a bridge hand. So this particular hand, and most hands are not like this, but you could have a hand like this. So let's just say they happen to lead a club. They lead the deuce of clubs. Okay? If you played the 3, okay, what club are you missing? Just the king. So, and let's say the 10 wins. Where's the king? They lead the 2 of clubs, and it goes 3, a small one here, and your 10 wins. Where's the king of clubs? Down here. Because if the other person had it, they would have won with the king. The king would have been behind what? The ace. So you know where the king is. Okay? So now, when I said before, 8 always, 9 never, what spade are you missing? The queen. So you play a spade to the 10. If the queen is here, you gain an extra trick. If the queen is up here, you probably would have lost it what? Anyway. That is how bridge is played. This is what a finesse, does everybody understand what I say what a finesse is? You're trying to trap and honor. Now, I'm going to give you an example where it's not a finesse in a second. So then, what you do now is you come back to your hand with the ace of hearts and you play another spade. If the 10 won the first time, could this person have 4 spades to the queen?
Yes.
So now you play the jack and they follow. Now you play the ace and the queen drops. Okay? So now you're on the board. You want to get back to your hand. So you play a diamond back to your ace and you lead the jack of clubs. Let's say this person plays the king now. You win the ace, you play a club back to your hand. Look at the heart diamond suit. What card are you missing that's in between?
Queen.
The queen. You do the same thing. You play a diamond to the jack or heart to the jack, they're both the same, and you try to trap the queen. It's not always going to work, folks, but that is how you gain extra tricks. Notice on this hand, we trapped the king of clubs, and we trapped what? The queen of spades, and then we had a choice of trapping either the queen of hearts or queen of diamonds. But notice you have, so if you don't take any of these finesses, you could lose how many tricks? 4. So if you don't take finesses, you'll see sometimes 4 down 1, 4 making 6. You'll have all kinds of wild results because if you don't take finesses and just take your tricks, you're going to go down every single time you play a bridge hand, because I will tell you, probably out of every 2 bridge hands, it seems like there's a finesse involved. A lot of bridge hands have finesses. So you need to understand what a finesse is. And that's why Audrey Grant, in this beginning class, really emphasizes finesses, so when you learn to play a bridge hand, you can recognize what they are. Well, you better believe the next 4 weeks you're going to see a lot of them, okay? I'm giving you a fair warning. You're going to see tons of finesses, okay? So, because I want you, and also you're going to have some hands where you have to rough losers. So you're going to have a lot of example hands to get a taste of how to play a bridge hand, okay? And they'll be everything you'll be doing the next 4 weeks is based on what you've learned up to date. So you won't have anything new the next 4 weeks. It'll be all to go over everything that you've been taught. So you can visualize it with the cards. Okay? So that's a finesse. Now let me show you what's not a finesse. I'm going to give you 2 suits here as examples. So let's do the first one here. You have okay. Look at these 2 suits. Okay? So here, if you let the queen and the king, let's say they play a small one, and you play a small one, and the queen holds, who has the king? Down here, the queen won. So now when you play the jack, ace, and let's say diamonds is trump, well, the 3rd spade, you can do what? Rough the diamond. You've got the 2 spade tricks. Have you lost any spades? No. If you're playing in a suit contract, you can rough the 3rd spade. Now look at this suit here. In order to finesse, you got to have what? Touching honors. You got, in other words, you got to be able to have, if you let the queen, you have the jack. No, that's not a finesse. That's not a finesse. You don't leave the queen with no, now if I had the jack here, that's different. If I had the jack here, then it would go queen, king, ace, but now is my jack good? Yes. Here I don't have any, I can't trap something because I am missing, I don't have the honor underneath the queen. Or if I had ace, queen, jack, that'd be different. But here I just have the queen. So look at this suit here. How could I possibly gain 2 more tricks in this suit? Can anybody tell me? How could I possibly gain 2 tricks in that suit? Where do I want the king of hearts to be in order to gain an extra trick? Can anybody tell me? Who's not afraid to speak up? Where do you want the king to be? You want the king to be here or here? Just the opposite. Now let me show you. Let me show you. Let me show you. You lead the 4 to the ace. Now you lead the 4 back. If the king is here and they play the king, isn't your queen good? Isn't your queen good? So you want the king to be above you, because when you lead back to the queen, if it's up here, aren't you going to gain an extra trick? Does everybody follow me? Aren't you going to gain an extra trick? Ace, 4, they play the king. Well, you're not going to play the queen, you're going to play the 8. Isn't your queen now good? So when you have a queen that's like a hand like this, you lead towards the ace and then back to what? Your queen, because you want the king to be in front of you. If it's down here, then the king can take the queen. Does everybody understand what I'm saying? So that's why I said just the opposite. So, and another example, let's say you have this suit. I'm going to give you a bunch of examples here. How do you make an extra trick in this suit? Not a good suit. You have 4 the king and the dummy, and your hand you have the 5 and the 2. How can I take an extra trick in that suit? Anybody want to try?
Lay down trump.
No. I'm talking about just leading the suit, period. Nothing with trump, nothing with anything.
So I'm gonna lead the suit. Eventually the ace is gonna.
Where do I lead from? Do I want to lead from there or from here?
Your short side first.
What's your first name?
Alice.
Alice? Alice is spot on. So you want to lead from the short suit towards the king. Where do you want the ace to be?
Below
below it. You want the ace to be here, right?
Yeah.
You want the king to be behind the ace. So you lead the 2 towards the king. When the ace is here, aren't you going to gain an extra trick? You don't want to lead from here. If you lead from here, you're going to always lose 2 tricks. So you lead from weakness to strength. You lead from the short suit towards the king. When the ace is here, you're going to play the 3. If they don't play the ace, what are you going to play? If they don't play the ace, you're going to play the king. Because you're going to hope where do you want the ace to be? So when you have 2 small cards in your hand and you have the king and dummy, you lead from your hand. This is what we call not a finesse, but it's a form of finesse. Aubrey Grant wants you to understand that when you have a king with unsupported weak cards and you have 2 small in your hand, you always want to lead from the weakness from your hand towards the king, and you want to hope that the king is located where? Favorably, because it can't be, the ace. The ace could be in either hand. It could be down here or where? Up here. Isn't a 50% chance that the ace is located favorably, you're going to gain an extra trick? Right? So if the ace is here, and I lead low, and they play, let's say they play little one, I'm going to play the king. I have nothing to lose. If the ace was here, wasn't I going to lose? Wasn't the king always? Wasn't I always going to lose 2 tricks anyway? If the ace is over here, I was never going to get a trick in that suit. But if the ace is down here and the king is behind the ace, then I would have gained what? An extra trick. Does everybody understand what I just said? Okay. So we learned about finesses, and we learned about a hand like you never want to lead away from a king and dummy when you have 2 small in your hand. You just, if there was the queen here, that'd be different, because the queen would force out the ace and then the king would still be good. So you've learned a little bit about playing a bridge hand, because these examples I gave are going to come up, so that's why I had to give you these examples. Okay, so now what I want to do, the other thing is if you're on lead, if you're ever on lead, and let me just give you an example. We learned 4th from longest and strongest, and we learned what? Top of a what? Sequence. Does ever remember what? I'll just put those examples down again. This is top of a sequence. This is top of a sequence. This is top of a sequence. And this is top of a sequence. And this is top of a sequence. Something like that. There's tons of examples. Okay. So the other thing you learn is if you have something like this, and you're on lead, you lead 4th from longest and strongest. If you have something like this, you lead what? 4th from longest and strongest. So everybody understands 4th from longest and strongest, and they understand top of the sequence. Does everybody understand that so far? The other lead that you might want, let's say the opponent's, the bidding goes a diamond, a spade, 2 spades, 4 spades. So they bid 2 suits, diamonds and spades. And this is your hand. This is just an example hand. So they bid diamonds and spades, and they're in 4 spades. Another lead, you're going to learn about touching honors. What is touching honors? You have 2 honors in a row. That's called touching honors. King, queen, queen, jack. So sometimes when the opponents bid 2 suits, you want to lead sometimes an unbid suit. Unbid suit means, what are the 2 unbid suits? If they bid diamonds and spades, hearts and clubs are what? The unbid suits. Clubs is sort of anemic. It's sort of like, in this case, even if you lead 4th best, it's not an attacking lead. It's a weak suit. So when you have 2 suits to lead from, and they're both unbid suits, sometimes you'll lead touching honors. You'll lead the king from king, queen. That's another example that Aubrey brings up in this lesson today, that when you're in doubt what to lead, and the opponents have bid 2 suits, or the other clue is, and I'll mention to you, let's say the opponents bid 3 suits. Sometimes leading the unbid suit is a good idea, the unbid suit. So if they bid 3 suits and they end up in 3 no trump, sometimes leading the unbid suit is not a bad idea. Just give you some tips on leading. By the way, leading or on defense is probably one of the hardest things in bridge to do over a long period of time. You could have 13 experts, and they'll go over the bidding, and you'll have, I think I read, there's a book I get every month. I usually get, these are the top players in the world, and they'll go ahead and give like 8 different answers. I'm serious. Defense is one of the hardest things in bridge, but that's why when you learn bridge, Audrey Grant and I really emphasize the basics for leading, because you want to understand what to lead, because defense is critical. A lot of contracts are either beaten or made depending on what the opening lead is. So that's why you want to understand at least the basics of what to lead. And that's why I gave you touching honors today and unbid suits. And that's really all you need to know when you're practicing or playing bridge, those basic defensive tips I've given you. So now, everybody go ahead and turn the first board over on the table. Oh, did you want to, yeah, there's 2 over there. And James, you can fill in the 4. James will fill in. Oh, wait, there's 4 here. You can stay where you're at. You can stay where you're at. I'm just getting, there's 2 people here, not here. You need chairs too. Okay, I'm good. Right over here. You guys need another chair or? Oh, you got 4 chairs. Okay. Do I just stay right there? So go ahead.
How you
Go ahead
doing?
and turn
Good
your
morning.
face up on the table.
James?
Yeah.
Where's the stuff? Oh, it's down here.
I see.
I think that was the trip.
How you doing?
Okay. So let's go ahead, look at the north hand. Does everybody have their cards on the table so we can go over this together? Okay, let's put your cards on the table quickly.
We don't get further.
Oh, you need to open your, push this in like that, and then take this. Okay, so in the front, you put all your this, and then this, you put oh, this here?
Your paper. I came late. No, I came. Hi, Kate. You paid attention. I paid attention. She's learning how to do this. Once he starts
Okay, put your cards face up on the table, folks. Okay, everybody look at the north hand. I want everybody to look at the north hand first. What should north open the bidding with? Anybody? What should North open the bidding with?
You shouldn't open.
One
One diamond is correct. Okay, one diamond.
Unless you
All
got a really
right.
great.
Now,
You do have good
now look at the
That's
south
8
hand. What should south respond to one diamond? What does one heart show? It shows at least 4 hearts, and what's the point range?
You should bid 1 diamond.
Who said at least 6?
You're the dealer.
That's the answer. It shows 6 or more. Could you have 20 points to bid a heart? Yes. It shows 6 or more. So the bidding's gone 1 diamond by
That's your
north,
bid here.
1 heart by
One diamond.
south.
yeah.
Okay?
Okay, 1 diamond.
What should north do over 1 heart now?
Is this how we do this?
Yep. Take this away every time you-
What should north do over 1 heart?
2 hearts.
2 hearts is correct. 2 hearts saying
2 hearts.
partner.
2 hearts.
I know you have at least 6 points and 4 hearts. With my 13 points, I want to confirm that we have what? A heart fit. That's all it shows so far. Now, I want you to follow me. This is not difficult. This hand's one of the easier hands. So I want you to follow me carefully. 1 diamond by north, I have an opening hand, no 5-card major. South, partner, I have at least 6 points or more, and a 4-card heart suit. North, partner, I don't know how many points you have, except you have at least 6, but I want to confirm that we have what? An 8-card heart fit, 2 hearts. That's all 2 hearts says. We have an 8-card heart fit. Now go back to the south hand. South now knows they have what? An 8-card heart fit. What does South do over 2 hearts?
Diamonds? 2 hearts?
They bid 4 hearts. Why do they bid 4 hearts?
Oh, because they got.
Partner opened the bidding. Don't they have, how many points does South have?
13.
14, and a doubleton is 15. What's 15 plus 13?
Put this on the other side here.
Is that game?
People can see that you-
Notice how a bridge hand was bid. Okay, let's go this very carefully, folks.
1 heart first.
1 diamond by north, partner, I have an opening hand, but I don't have a 5-card major. South, 1 heart, I have at least 6 points or more, and I have 4 hearts. North, 2 hearts, partner, I'm confirming we have an 8-card heart fit. With my opening hand, I have 4 hearts for you. South, well, if you have an opening hand, and I have an opening hand, and we have an 8-card heart fit, then I'm going to bid what? Game. 4 hearts. You see how, does everybody see how bridge is bid? Does everybody understand that? Okay? It's all about communication and telling each other what you have. 1 diamond, opening hand. 1 heart, at least 6 points. 2 hearts, confirming that you always want to let partner know when you have an 8-card fit. 2 hearts. You never jump. You just bid 2 hearts. Okay? If you jump, you're showing a lot more points. We haven't got there yet.
Okay.
But then when you bid 2 hearts, doesn't South have 15 points counting a doubleton club? Doesn't South know that they have enough points for game? Didn't their partner open the bidding 1 diamond? And don't they have 15? And don't they know they have an 8-card heart fit? That's why they now bid 4 hearts. You only bid game when you know you have what? Enough points for game. Does that make sense?
Makes a lot of sense.
This is how a bridge game, this is how a bridge hand is bid.
10.
Okay,
Interesting.
now let's look at what should West lead, what South would be declared, what should West lead on this hand?
You're asking about my hand.
Yeah.
What should
I
West
lead?
lead on this hand? West. What should West lead on this hand against 4 hearts?
You like that? Lead to
Okay,
win?
so hearts and diamonds we're strong in.
Touching honors?
Well,
That's right, you're
he's
right.
asking
You would
about
lead
Man, what's your first name?
the lead.
Yeah.
We're
Sorry,
going to
what?
be
Yeah.
playing the hand here in just a second.
Nadine? Okay, Nadine is spot on. Nadine, what did I just say before? The opponents bid 2 suits, right? They bid diamonds and hearts. So Wes has got a choice between what? A club and a spade lead. Does everybody agree with me? Okay? So either one would be right. If you let a club, you'd be leading the 5, 4th longest and strongest. But when you have touching honors, notice in spades you have touching honors, the king, queen. The king of spades stands out in this hand because again, it's an unbid
You chose the right
suit,
answer.
so I would lead the king of spades from the king, queen,
That tells her.
7-3. Notice, if you lead the king of spades, is the king of spades gonna win or lose?
Gonna win.
Win. Who has the ace of spades?
My partner.
The partner has to have it. If the Claire had the ace of spades, wouldn't they have taken the king? So if your king of spades wins, then you want to continue another spade. Now, the second time around, you should play the 3. Let your partner know. So if your partner wins the ace, they should continue spades. You don't lead the king from what? Nothing. It has to be touching honors. That's why I just taught you a few minutes ago. When you have touching honors, you lead the king from king, queen. Okay? All right?
Okay, you played the queen this time.
How many tricks do we have in each suit? Let's examine this. How many spade winners do we have between the north and south hands?
Okay,
Queen, the second trick.
okay.
How many spade winners do we have between? Come on, God, I need an answer quickly on this.
Zero.
Zero. Zero isn't too hard to say, okay? So, how many heart tricks, how many heart winners do you have? 4. How many dime winners do you have? 4. What's 4 plus 4? How many club winners do you have? 1 for sure is 9. So you're short how many tricks? 1. Does everybody agree with me? You have 4 heart winners, 4 diamond winners, and the ace of clubs. Does everybody agree that you have 9 winners? Does everybody see that? All your hearts are good, all your diamonds are good, 4 each, and then the ace of clubs. So where's my 10th trick going to come from? Where's it going to come from?
You gotta come from
Get that other
Clubs. So how would I play the club suit? Where do I want to be to play the club suit?
She's gonna play first.
You want to be in the south hand, that's correct. You want to be in the south hand to lead a club towards what? The ace queen. Does everybody agree with me? So you lead the 4 clubs, and if you and West should play low. If you can't win the trick, you always play low. So West should play low, and what club are you going to play from dummy?
Play queen.
But the queen. Is the queen going to
Did you play
win?
already?
Yes.
You didn't win the lead.
How many tricks does that give you now?
Let's just go ahead and do that.
That gives you 10.
You have the
Does everybody
lead.
see why finesse is important?
I wanna get the
If you
queen
don't,
ace
if you
out.
don't play a club to the
Actually, I
queen,
play the
are you going to
king.
make this contract? No, you're going to go
She's
down.
gonna take it.
So if you play a club towards the queen,
Well, wait.
you lead the 4 clubs towards the queen, you now have how many club tricks?
Don't want
2.
anybody in trouble.
You're going to make the ace and the queen both good, and you're going to have how many winners? 10.
4.
Does everybody see how a bridge
4
hand is
heart
played?
winners, and then
Okay,
4
make sure
diamond
you draw
winners.
trumps in this
And
hand.
club is zero.
Before you do anything, make sure all the trumps are drawn. That's the first.
Count your heart.
So when you play a bridge hand, you say, I got 9 winners, but if I finesse the queen of clubs, that's 10. So the first thing you do in this hand is do what?
4.
After they take their 3 spade tricks, draw
Taking out your
trumps.
hearts.
Then play your 4 diamonds, and then play the club.
Otherwise,
Club to
you'll
the
trump
queen.
in.
So once you
I have trouble hearing, I'm
do
sorry.
that, you can
Yeah,
take
the
the
rest of
queen
the
over
tricks
there.
are
outside.
Hey, James, they can't hear. They can't hear over here. So we need to make sure that they can hear. So again, you want to draw trumps, and when you draw trumps, and they're all gone, then you want to take your 4 diamond tricks and then play a club to the queen to finesse for your 10th trick. Okay? I want you to go ahead and play the hand. Yes.
I just have a dumb question.
Does he want us to play it?
Okay. I,
Let's
the
start
very first
at the
thing
beginning
to
of
figure out was 2 6. I always thought you could go strong when you had even
No,
4 and 4.
the major first. They've always been the major first.
Sound of music.
Who cares about, you want to play 5 diamonds or 4 hearts?
She's the
I will tell you right now, 98% of the time when you have a fit in the minors, you end up in no trump anyway. The only time you play 5 clubs or 5 diamonds is on very distributional hands.
You have to hide
It's
your.
easier to contract for 9 tricks and no trump than it is for 11
declare.
tricks and
You're the
diamonds.
declare. You
Your
have
goal
to-
is to locate a major suit fit.
He's gonna make that.
Diamonds, and now if you open a diamond and it goes a heart, and now you bid 2 diamonds, that's a little bit different, because now she knows you have 6 diamonds and you got 10 between you. But you always bid the major suit first, always.
Okay, there's more? Oh, you only.
You want to be, you'd rather play 4 hearts or 4 spades.
Oh, you're
She bid hearts
That's
first.
right. So no, she lays.
Okay,
down.
folks, go ahead and pick up your hands and play it. Go ahead and pick up your hands and play it.
And then I said,
We got a lot to cover, so I want you to, that's why I want you to bid. Well, now, folks, folks, I need your attention, please. I need for you to know how to use the bidding box. So here, I'm gonna go ahead, please follow me. Notice these cards are your bids. This is so easy. Don't try to pull out 2 spades. Pull out everything behind 2 spades. So when you put everything back, you just put everything back like that in your box. So let's say you're gonna open 1 diamond. Don't pull out the individual 1 diamond. Pull out the 1 diamond bid and everything behind it. So the 1 club and the 1 diamond bid, and then here's what you do, folks. You put it on the table in front of you, okay? And let's say your partner bids a heart, and you wanna bid 2 hearts. Pull out everything behind the 2 hearts, everything. And you put it down like this, okay? So when you're done bidding, this is what it looks like. You just put it behind it. It goes back in the box. The whole thing goes back in the box. I'll help you if you have a problem. So the opening bid, go ahead, you can get the cards. You want to put them in your hand. So I'll go around, if you have trouble bidding.
I don't know.
We're supposed to bid.
Did you guys bid, by the way?
We know what.
She needs it.
Okay, pick up, did you guys bid?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you guys bid too over here? Did you pull out your bids here too? Yeah, I want you to go ahead and practice bidding, so. No, one at a time. The dealer was over here, so the bidding should go like this. 1 diamond, you're gonna pass. 1 heart, you're gonna pass. And then he'll pull everything behind you, everything. And you put like this, 2 hearts, you're gonna pass again. And then you bid 4 hearts, and then it'll go pass, pass, pass. So what you do is you go like this, you put it together, and you go back to the box like that. It's back to where it was. Okay, you can go ahead and play the hand now. Did you guys practice bidding? You guys bid the hand, 1 diamond, 1
I
heart.
would take out, I mean, it could be somebody has a single from club.
You leave, before you put the dummy down, you have to leave first.
Play that, and she has a singles, and she could come.
Remember I told you, I just touch you on, no, touch you on the
I don't want to fit
That would be
the
exactly
picture.
what later.
It's like, I mean, because these will be good.
I don't know. Diamond, so I'm gonna go.
Well,
You're gonna do that.
2 of diamonds.
So take them from either side.
You've got the ace queen and king jack over
Well,
there.
she did diamonds, that one diamond.
Touching on it, touching on it. Remember I just
Depends
told
on where
you?
you want
Oh,
to
you already
go
did
from
that,
this.
okay.
She's not really
Doesn't
missing.
You can't win and play, look, you
Should
can't win and
I
play
just
small.
play?
Never waste time. You're missing all the high honors.
Never let somebody.
And hearts gone, so I wanna go in diamond.
That's right.
3 hearts.
Turn that over.
Because hearts,
And notice right here,
I know.
notice right here, you won these tricks, so you go like this. So if you win the trick, they're facing towards you. They lost these 2 tricks, so they're facing towards you too.
Okay.
Okay?
I'm gonna play this because I can move it with,
You didn't want to go
I
high
stay
one.
with the jack. Either one.
Over there, there's only 1 come back. Go ahead and take it.
Judy needs to play.
And you're in on the board.
All right, so play the king.
You did a good point.
You did with it, so you need to lead, not her.
Right. That's fine, she's leading the 3 towards her 8, go ahead and play.
Club is good, so you may as well play it now.
Now you're.
So how do I know it's good?
Because
King-
ace
king
king
was
came
played.
out.
Okay, so play
Yeah, play the
the,
king
play the
here.
club.
Well, there's 2 more, you wanna get, this is just where you wanna be, you wanna get the hearts out, you wanna get the
Now I
fronts
can
out.
play my diamond. So,
You're in your hand, you want the ace, always play.
okay, play the,
They're both the same, they're all the same, you have all the honors, king, queen, jack, this is what you play, because they're all the same.
play the
How many did you
jack.
make?
I don't have
4.
jack. I'm sorry, play the nine. That doesn't make a difference.
You need to play a heart.
Cash or Visa, or MasterCard.
So I took it, so I can.
IOU.
That's all you're getting out of
You got a limit on one that's only $5.
And you made 4.
You're counting your hearts.
Front flat. Both hands. You made 4.
More hearts.
Just refresh the.
Did you wait, are all the spades out? You should, it's never, this is not no trump, this is a
Diamond, and then
you don't want to go right here.
one heart.
One heart, that's what?
Not make it easy.
Then
So
we had
what
a
I
private
would,
heart.
what I
Yeah,
would.
more diamond.
6 and 4, the first game,
She would respond
you're-
in.
Four
All the
hearts.
spades,
Okay.
all the spades are out.
Okay.
After she says 1 heart, I pass, and you say,
2 hearts.
I don't remember, there's been so much discussion.
With one diamond,
You,
two hearts.
you said 2 hearts because you have 4.
you have an 8 heart 6. 1 diamond.
So you made 4, right?
Yes.
Good, good. And the bidding went 1 diamond, 1 heart, 2 hearts, 4 hearts. And the king of spades was led?
Yes.
Yeah,
No.
good, very good.
Yeah.
The opponents, not the opponents, yeah. Good. See, you made 4? Good. King of spades was led?
Did you understand that?
Good, good. Did everybody understand the bidding?
Yeah.
Good, very good.
Very good. A couple weeks.
You're gonna be in Europe.
Where are you going? Where are you going?
Made 4. And you finesse that king of clubs. Actually, we're going to feel good. So they can the trap.
You wanna play on Thursday with her?
Oh, well, I got
Well,
But
I got one.
We'll play tomorrow night.
You only have 9 players.
If I made, you know, Roseanne,
Because the king of
she played with us, I played 9 times.
that'd be fine.
Okay.
Yeah, got 4 in, probably a major.
Okay, the first thing you should do, I went over, get rid of Trump.
You
Don't
would,
play Trump.
I would allow them to.
Wouldn't it be embarrassing to play Trump this? So put it back in your hand. You gotta get rid of those trumps.
It's easier when the
I'll
next.
call her, my partner, and that's you. Yeah, she's a good player.
Right.
Good. Enjoy that.
Want to play with her on Thursday?
She's really good about it, she's a very good player.
Thursday, what is it? Having a
We start to play at 11:30, see it gets to 11:45.
They know we're old.
Okay, now, where was this board, how was this board facing before? Because I want to be consistent.
Okay, North was here. This is how it should.
Okay, I'm gonna make sure, then we'll do it this way.
To remember what.
So who played the last hand? You did? Okay, so we'll leave north over here like this, okay? I'll be consistent.
You can ask her. She's not playing Wednesday night, Kate. Yeah, she says she has dinner Wednesday night. Usually we play Wednesday night. And my other partner, he's in Vegas. Playing poker. He's a card shark who plays poker in Vegas. He's pretty good at it. But he's weird bidding. He's like,
Hey, you want to play with on Thursday?
okay, and it usually
He's
works.
got a partner for you. Okay.
If I'm remembering, Janelle is still in Bellevue.
No, I didn't. I live in Omaha.
Okay.
I did live in Bellevue for a while.
Yeah, I think we got to figure out that.
Play a diamond, and then diamond the ace of your trump. He made 4. Good, very good. So you took the clubs and this, right? That's okay. Remember now, you can identify 10 winners. You say, well, you only got 9, but I picked the club. The first thing you do is get the trumps out. Now, and then once the trumps are gone, stop. So if you have a trump left in each hand, you want to save those, you don't lose it. So don't, if you play your diamonds, they may trump a diamond.
That's true, they could have.
Okay, put your cards back so before you get another board.
Go ahead.
Okay. How many did you make?
He's got a pick one.
Maintain, good,
both the
good.
same strength.
Do you accept?
Because,
But you usually do the higher
Well,
ranking
usually
major.
when there's 4 cards.
Oh, she gets a contract.
It is a contract.
There's the
I've
contract.
got 2 4-card suits, if I have 2 5-card suits.
That's what you, so you took the club finesse to your 10th grade.
Yeah.
Very good.
4-card suits.
Okay, folks, very good.
Where's yours?
what makes either one?
Okay, so now, take your hands out and put them face up,
Did you
folks.
guys go over overcalls yet?
Take your
Probably
hands
not.
out
That's
and
like-
put them face
I
up.
don't think it's covered that.
Yeah, so you want overcall yet.
Put your hands up.
Bidding box is ready.
So if I said one space.
Okay, so this one's gonna pass.
I like that hand.
Oh,
you know, what's the one hand?
Say 1 card.
So we have two spaces.
1776.
Oh, 77.
I have.
It wouldn't have used camo in that age.
I know.
It would have been black felt.
And they had some cockades attached to it.
Okay, folks, the dealer on this hand is East. So look at the East hand. What would East open the bidding with and why?
A
One
convenient
Club.
minor.
No.
They would open a club as correct.
Major.
They don't have a 5-card major, and therefore, aren't there more clubs than diamonds? Therefore, they would open a club. Does everybody understand why East would open a club?
Yes.
Okay. South passes. What does West respond?
One spade.
No.
Not one heart.
Okay, here's, I want you to listen very carefully what I'm saying here, okay? So when you respond, and you have 2 4-card suits, you always respond the lower. Why? Good question, okay? So let me illustrate to you, and I'll just put an example here. Partner,
You opened with 11 points?
No, I
I'm responding.
Oh, you were responding, okay.
so let's say your partner bids a club. Is that right? They open a club, right? Let's say you bid a heart. Doesn't your partner still have the opportunity to bid a spade over a heart? But if you bid a spade first, and you guys have a 4-4 heart fit, you may lose what? The heart suit. You may lose the heart suit. So when you're responding, and you have 2 4-card majors, always respond the lower. Because if you bid 1 heart, your partner still has the opportunity to do what? Say 1 spade. So that is why you respond to a heart first. So West would say what? 1 heart. And then what would East do over 1 heart?
One spade.
1 spade. Notice, the beauty of this hand is, notice both partners are communicating and telling each other about their hand. It's all about communication. That's what bridge is all about, communication. Like my wife tells me, communication. Just listen to what she says and you'll be happy. And you know what? She's right. But seriously, 1 club, 1 heart, 1 spade. 1 club, I have what? An opening hand, and I deny what? A 5-card major. I don't have one. But I do have how many points? 13 or more. 1 heart. I have at least 4 hearts and at least how many points? 6. Okay? 6 or more and at least 4 hearts. Partner, with the 13 points that I just showed you, I have 4 spades with my 13 points or more. They're just telling each other what they have. That's what 1 spade shows. So now it goes back to West, and how many points does West have?
Get 1 point for the double.
West has got 11 plus 1 for a Doubleton club, so their hand is 12. You're going to learn, and you don't need to know this today, but I'm just going to explain it. This will be more into when you take intermediate bridge, you'll learn this. But as an example, and I'm just going to explain to you what this means. So whenever you have, if you only had 6 to 9 or 6 to 10, you would bid 2 spades. If you had 13 or more, you do what? You bid 4 spades. When you have the in-between hand, where you're thinking, hey partner, we may have game, do you have extra above your 13, or you just have 13? So you'll find out later on in intermediate bridge that 3 spades shows 11 or 12 points, but that's intermediate bridge. You don't have to know that today, but so therefore the final contract would be 3 spades. They would bid 3 spades to invite partner to 4 if they had extra. In other words, they have more than 6 to 9. And your partner would pass because East has a bare minimum opener. So let's say the final contract is 3 spades. As an example, the final contract is 3 spades. Let's go ahead and break this hand down. If East and West are playing in 3 spades, how many spade tricks do they have? 4. How many heart tricks do they have? None. And how many diamond tricks do they have? None. And how many club tricks do they have? 4. What's 4 plus 4?
8.
So where's their 9th trick coming from? The short one. Do you see where they can maybe take an extra trick somewhere? The heart. How could you possibly take an extra trick in the heart suit?
Finesse.
That's what the king.
Because she'll be run out, she only has 2.
So what? There's only one option. How could you take an extra trick in the heart suit? You're right when you said you could take an extra trick in hearts, but how would you take the extra trick in hearts? How?
Finesse the king.
Okay, and tell me how you do that.
Lead low to it.
You lead the 3 of hearts towards the king. You're hoping, where are you hoping the ace is?
Before it.
Before it. You're hoping the ace is before it. So if the ace is behind it, you're not going to get a heart trick. But the ace is before it, you'll gain a heart trick. So when you're playing this hand, you draw trumps, and then you lead a heart towards the king, and you pray. 50% of the time it'll be located favorably. 50% of the time it'll be what? Not located favorably. But in bridge, you try to always gain an extra trick to make your contract. So if the ace of hearts has got to be right, it's got to be in front of the king of hearts, then you try it. You lead the 3 of hearts towards the king. And on this hand, because you guys are such good people, the ace of hearts is located where? Favorably. It's located in front. So when you lead the how come you guys have 3 hearts here? You lead the 3 of hearts towards the king. If this person plays the 5, you just go up with the king. If they play the ace, then you play the 4. In other words, you're going to gain an extra trick because the king of hearts is located behind the ace. Okay, do you understand that?
Well, I understand that the king of hearts is, the ace is up here, but I don't, if she plays low.
You should play the
and I
king.
play king.
You have to play the king.
Then how do I get an extra trick?
The king won.
Oh, okay.
Right. So I think he won.
Yeah, okay.
Well, he can't beat the king, can he?
No, I don't.
4 and 8.
So,
Thank you.
that's okay. But you're right. If he had the ace, then you would not get an extra heart trick because it wasn't located.
You know what?
favorably.
Aren't you gonna get
No. If that ace of hearts was here, you get none.
These would be played.
If
They're
that,
not playing it, don't they?
okay, fine. Okay, then he wins.
Well, she knows where the king is, but she doesn't.
Now you've lost 2 hearts and 3 diamond tricks, down 1.
Well, he wouldn't.
Look at your diamonds. Don't you have 3 diamond losers? And if you lose 2 heart tricks and you're in 3 spades, isn't that down 1?
Because they said,
Well, if you play, you said if you play low heart and you don't play the king, can he win the 10? He can win anything. When you only have 2 in your hand, you only want to lose 1 of them. You don't want to lose both of them.
and the queen's over here. And these
Count your losers. 1, 2, 3. Don't you have 3 diamond losers? Yeah, but isn't that
I'm just
3?
saying,
Aren't you going to lose at least 1 heart is 4? But if you lose 2 hearts, aren't you that 5 losers? When you're in 3,
she takes these.
you only can afford to lose how many?
My 10.
Correct?
So I'll still make up dreams.
Okay. So when you have 2 little ones and the king's on the board, you lead towards the king.
put the ace over there.
And if the king wins, then you only lose how many? One heart per time. No, but you want to try to make the hand. If the hand can't be made, say like even Houdini can't make it. He's not right. I'm just saying, if the hand can't be made, it can't be made. But if the hand can be made, you want to at least try to make the hand, and you hope that the cards are located favorably. If they're not located favorably, that's part of risk. Sometimes cards are not located favorably. Okay, folks, go ahead and let's talk about what should South lead against three spades? What should South lead? Folks, what should South lead against three spades? We gotta hurry up and play this hand so I need an answer, folks.
I'll be right back.
What diamond?
Play the queen, that's the winner.
Pardon me?
And if she plays the 7?
The 2 of diamonds is correct. When you did the 2 of diamonds, what's that called, folks? Fourth from longest and strongest. Does everybody see that? The 2 of diamonds is fourth from longest and strongest. North of with the ace of diamonds, play the queen of diamonds, and then play the 7 of diamonds, and you'll take the first 3 diamond trips. Okay, go ahead and pick up your hands and bid the hand and play it.
And then I'll take it.
Okay?
What would you want me to play? 5.
James, who did we lose over here?
Patricia Murphy, we can play those cards.
No, she did.
Oh, did she leave?
Yeah, she did.
Oh, what happened? She had to go? Or?
Pick up your card. No, because you know that we don't have queen king.
Brian, do you want to sit in and play cards here?
Is Dick still here? Did Dick leave, by the way?
Yeah, he's at home.
I haven't been studying what he's teaching, I'm just
Well,
trying to film it.
come over here and play cards. You can play the cards and tell you what's
I don't even know how to play, I forgot how to play war, so.
Okay, so go ahead, let's put
Hold
our
on a
bids on the
second.
table so we can all see it. So you're gonna say 1 club.
Okay, we put it back the way it's supposed to be.
Here, you have
The ace,
Pick
ace
up on-
jack is over
Now you
there.
need
So
another.
1 club,
King's over there.
and you did pass. Pull out your hand.
No, it was, you have, how many hearts do you have?
I'm gonna be the
1 heart, that's correct, just like that.
4 hearts.
All right.
And then you would pass.
Trump suit is the spade.
Yeah, and then here's how you wanna do it, so that we can see it.
Thank you.
So everybody have 13 cards now?
So
She
now we know
doesn't,
you
I'm out
take
of
2
time.
bids, 1 club, and then 1 spade. That's how you want it. So like if you bid,
Because we were messing around.
You're the declarer. And the leading 2 of clubs. Leading strong card, partner, please take them.
So if you look at that, it
So the 2 of
says,
diamonds.
you're gonna go 3 cards from here. So you're playing the
I'm
hand,
gonna play low.
and then you would lead.
The person that plays the 8.
You can't
Pick
look
up
at
your cards, and then all you do is go like this. Just right back.
And then come back to 7 of diamonds.
So then you get the lead, what would you, and here's a little tip for you, I mean, you have your hand.
You get the ace.
I like to separate it and lock it over there. And sometimes I get, it's just easier to see. Okay, so what would you lead with this hand?
What do you leave back in the low diamond, the 6? So put that.
Do you have a 4th longest and strongest to lead?
And this person takes the queen. And they've
We
already
should
got
put the
3
ace.
trips.
Oh, you got
Then
the
it
ball
goes
too.
here.
Oh.
You don't have the ace. She doesn't have the ace. You
Yeah,
have the
okay.
ace.
I am.
Yeah, we gotta get a dummy out here. No, you went, you did the spade.
Person
You
is
did the
gonna
spade.
buy-
You're the dummy.
I did.
You did the spades.
You're in your hand.
I did a heart, you did a spades. I did
So you-
spades.
You bid spade,
That's right.
whoever starts the suit is the declarer. Whoever starts the suit is the declarer.
Now, you get to take that back.
Now,
You're
which
out of
side
time.
do you do? Yeah, you would.
So we took it here.
Folks,
You wanna get the
I'm gonna give you a clue on defense. The person that has the ace, jack, small heart should never cash the ace of hearts. When you have ace, jack, small, they should leave anything but the ace of hearts.
So that was like these three are winners for you, and that's
Okay.
probably
I didn't
in
get
the
the-
space.
You'll want
Well,
to
I,
be in your hand.
okay, I got
so you'll want
it.
to
She
get.
said.
Whoever bids a suit first is the declarer. It's not the last person that bids it, it's the first
Stayed
person.
there.
Three.
You gotta be careful what you say.
So that's all right.
You lead into the dummy.
You're gonna play a higher card later in your hand, aren't you?
I want you to play the 10 of spades.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we've had
Hearts,
eight
she
played,
just wants to
9,
talk to
10,
whatever.
and I don't know how many are in your.
So now we go to
There
the.
was no.
Follow suit.
You have two of
Okay,
them.
But you have to follow
so
through.
I have to put this on.
8, 9, 10,
That's a
11,
loser.
12 is still
Loser.
losing.
Got 2.5.
And this was a loser.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't care, because we're just messing.
One more page coming out.
Although we done it, she was one page, she was not down, then she had to leave.
One should have noted, she's the one who had the one.
No,
Now, do you
all
have
the trumps
any
are
other
gone.
trumps in your hand? I have
If
one.
you were to play the queen of spades now, what if they won the ace of hearts and then they had?
Okay, then start with one.
Okay, so you have to decide. You can see
That's
the
okay.
dummy.
Can I play one of these?
No, you have to follow suit
Took it with
with
the
the heart.
Oh, with the hearts after.
See the
There's
king
an
up
order
here.
of operations. of-
You see the king up here.
Doesn't matter, we have them all.
So test her and see if she can have guts to play the
You
king.
need to play.
Okay, if he plays the 5, that's all right.
Okay, all right.
You take the chance and it wins.
Go ahead.
Now you take the club leader.
That's okay, go ahead and make your card.
And then, mine are somewhere over here. And so you read those. But now you have an iPod.
Yeah, I think, are you able to claim right now? You have all the rest of the trick?
These are
Depended on the.
James, yeah, can you put the cards back in here, or I'm gonna go ahead and go over the next hand.
I'm lower down. Oh, yeah, that's hard.
Business game is fun.
Okay, yeah, I see what you mean, where they took it.
Did you leave a heart towards the king?
They play, yeah. I played 500.
Leave a heart towards
You
the
ever
king?
play 500? It's a good.
I like this one last night. You're on coffee. You can take a nap this afternoon.
We got two more.
It's
minutes.
important that it's
Put it back inside.
I had 13 points, I believe.
And then,
I had 11.
do I count my shorts?
So is this just to remind us what drop where you're?
Yeah, once you have established that,
No, but is that so that I remember that I?
you want to have 20
On the table, that's fine.
You have 30 plus 1, next one, 11. We didn't really have to do
We're still alive. We couldn't game for 3 rounds. I wonder if some people would have played. You know what, though?
that. Possible. They would have taken 4 diamonds.
Diners were too.
I think you're better off in the Okay.
See, there's so much talking in between if we just, once you just start playing. Because when we were at home, we went through that one exercise.
Go ahead and turn it face up.
Well, she knew how to play war at one time.
Go ahead and turn the face up.
I'm trying to figure out now how to get 2,000 signatures between Christmas and March to run for Congress.
Are you?
Because the Republicans raised the number of signatures I gotta get by 400%.
Are you gonna run for Congress?
I've done it 4 times already.
Really? And may I ask which party you represent?
The first time I ran as an independent, and then I joined the Libertarian Party
Okay.
5 years ago.
So you're conservative.
Yes.
That's good.
What do you think about the 10th Amendment, Brian?
I think it's something that has been completely ignored by courts and legislatures
Yeah, there's 3 diamonds.
200 years.
I agree. How is any of this stuff constitutional?
Okay, so which way is north?
Some of my friends on the left that support more government coercion and force, they don't realize
I have 15.
the revolution was about the Bill of Rights.
I don't have, but I
And there's
have
certain rights we have to government.
six, so I will go one way.
Violated all the time.
I know.
Okay, folks, turn your cards face up on the table.
No, you have enough to respond.
Oh, that's right, she can't bid.
One diamond. And your five.
No?
Yeah.
That's seven.
If you're counting
Well, here.
Okay, folks, so look at your hand. Dealer on this hand is south. Okay, south is gonna pass. What would west open the bidding with?
One diamond.
One what?
Diamond.
One diamond's correct. Okay, what would east respond to one diamond with? What would east respond to one diamond with?
That's correct. Good.
No trust.
You did one night.
Folks, west is a diamond, what does east respond?
Alice?
Okay, west, east. West bids a diamond, what
I
does
stopped
east
and tell
respond?
him the answer.
No trump.
One no trump is correct.
You got it.
Someone said pass, how many points do they have? How many points does east have? 6. Does that mean they have to bid? Yes. 100% they cannot pass, they have to bid, because they have at least 6 points. So that, and can they respond one heart? No, they don't have 4. Can they respond one spade? No, because they don't have 4. So by process of elimination, they have to say what? One no trump. Partner, I have 6 to 9 points, I don't have a 4-card major. They can't raise to 2 diamonds because they don't have 5. They didn't know their partner has 6 diamonds, they can only have 3. So the bidding should go 1 diamond, 1 no. Now look at the west hand. You're going to learn in intermediate bridge, but they have this as an example hand. Notice the west hand is a good hand. So the bid that west would make to describe better than a normal hand would be 3 diamonds. 2 diamonds would say I have the same hand but not as many points. But the bidding would then die because west, if you look at the east hand, east only has 6 points, they have a what? A bare minimum, and 6 plus 16 or 17 is not enough for game. So let's say the final contract, as an example, the final contract is 3 diamonds by west. So west is playing the hand in 3 diamonds. What would north lead against 3 diamonds? What would north lead against 3 diamonds?
Don't lead away from those.
This is the easiest defensive lead
Well, I was
you'll
gonna
have
play
ever.
this.
Of course, the ace of hearts. You have the ace king.
Somebody was
So you lead the
saying,
ace of
maybe
hearts,
the obvious.
then after you lead the ace of hearts, you play the king of hearts, and then after you play the king of hearts, you play another heart. So they're going to, north-south, they're going to take the first 3 heart tricks. Okay?
Yeah.
So you're going to lose 3 hearts. What is the suit that you're worried about on this hand? What's the suit that you're worried about? If you're playing 3 diamonds, what is the suit that you're worried about? Spades. Look at your spade suit. Couldn't you possibly lose 2 spade tricks?
Follow with the king on the second.
If you lose 2 spades and 3 diamonds, that means you're down 1, right? How do you play the spade suit? Anybody want to tell me? How do you play the spade suit for 2 winners? How do you play the spade suit for 2 winners? We went over that earlier. What?
Up toward the queen.
Whoever said queen, you couldn't be further wrong.
They're playing the ace first to get the,
You have the jack of spades lead the queen.
yeah.
No, you don't. You have, I believe your spades are, I'll go to the board for you folks. We just went over
He doesn't
this.
have to play yet. He's just saying how I should.
What do you have in spades?
He's gonna let us play.
And he's, but we're not playing yet.
My plan on the spades, we play the ace first and then play the 3 toward the queen.
Yeah, I think she's confused because two. So just like.
Now look at the 2 hands here. They're on the board. How do you get 2 spade tricks? Where do you want the king of spades to be? We went over this earlier.
Behind him.
Where do you want the king of spades to be located at?
North.
On the north.
In north.
Don't you want the king of spades to be up here? Right? You don't, again, I repeat, I'm going to say this many times over the next few weeks. You never, never lead the queen when you have no honors behind it. You have queen empty, opposite ace empty. If you lead the queen and they play the king, isn't their jack 10 going to be good? The opponents have the jack 10, not you. Now if I had the jack, I would lead the queen, but I don't have the jack. So when you have an unsupported queen with nothing behind it, you never lead the queen. Never lead the queen. If I had queen jack 10, of course I would lead the queen. Because if I lead the queen, it goes king ace, now my jack 10 are good, right? But do I have anything behind the queen? Nothing. Now if the jack was here, well then if it goes queen, king, ace, then my what? My jack is good. I don't have any honors. All I have is the ace and the queen. So the only way to get 2 tricks in this hand, the only way is if the king is up here, you play the ace, then you play the 3. What do you want that person to do? If they play the king, isn't your queen good?
Yep.
You could lead the 3 towards the queen too. That's okay. If you lead the 3 towards the queen, you have to play the queen then. Okay? But you want the king to be located where? Up here. Behind the ace and in front of what? The queen. Does everybody see how you can take 2 tricks in that suit now? Does everybody see that? Because I heard a lot of people say you lead the queen.
No.
Okay? So does everybody understand why you don't lead the queen? Because you don't have any unsupported, you don't have the jack, you don't have any honors to support the queen. It's the queen by itself. Okay? So I want you to understand that the king is up here. How many spade tricks are you going to lose if the king is here? You're only going to lose what? 1 spade. If you lead the queen, you're going to lose what? 2 spades. Okay? Okay, go ahead and bid. You don't have, if you bid 2 diamonds, that's fine. But when West rebids diamonds over 1 no trump, they're saying that I have a long diamond suit with my opening hand. So go ahead and bid this hand 1 diamond, 1 no trump, 2 diamonds, and play the hand in 2 diamonds if you want. But I want you to make sure that you play the spade suit correctly.
I play. You're the dummy.
So I.
Yeah, and I'll be this person because I'm not going to do that.
No, you're right. Diamond is where it's supposed to
So he's declaring that was laid down.
Joanne has to lead.
Right. You don't
Ace and the ace king.
first.
Okay, let's see.
The 1 hole. Yeah. The 1 hole, you're right.
Low heart. I think we can just give them 3 heart tricks.
Well, let's just play it slow.
Yeah. Slow.
That's your lead.
Play a 2.
So,
Go ahead, do it again.
and
Heart, we got the queen.
you're not supposed to tell her that. She's just supposed to play like we really
Okay.
play and don't know each other.
Okay.
3 heart and ace. Two.
I didn't take it.
So I'm going to draw trumps now. I want to go to the short side and take the king. Started with 6 diamonds here and 2 there. So there's a total of 4, 5 on the other side. So this is going to take care of the low club.
What are you playing, Jamie?
2 diamonds
So
and
what
3
did we
diamonds.
do? We did 2 times. So, we had 3, so we had to take 9.
I put 3 down.
Okay, so then we did 9.
Low.
Yep.
29.
Don't forget to draw drums. That's the first thing you need to do.
But you're ready.
You should have done that first before you did
Club.
You have no more
And
clubs?
I can claim we've got Trump left and that'll be a winner. We were hoping the king was on my left, and it was.
And your red was 2 or 3?
Well, I could have been 3, but it said either 2 or 3. And the person that died anyway.
Made it.
I'm scary. I just plain
I
scary.
don't want to go sell my plate. You made it, babe. Good job.
Trying to get him to play that. I got it. So how many tables do you think you're gonna have on Thursday?
Well, right now I've got 3 in hand. I've got a lot of other people to call. Can't call them towards the end right now.
Well, Linnell said she might be able to play.
Would you have that
It's Lockheed or
I've got some other possible candidates.
I think Scott's out.
This is a fun hand. This is the last one.
I've got several people.
Mary, Elaine, this is Kathy Ford, and I was wondering if I could see that about 11 o'clock and pray for your mom.
Yeah, he has a card for me.
Will, well, more like 11:30.
We need to do it.
Okay, stay lively. Love you, bye-bye.
I think
He's on the table again?
Yes.
Well, you gotta find the card.
Oh, I can find the card.
Make your bid.
Time.
You know, when I, with Carolyn, I think it's, the biggest fear is her age going under.
Okay, the most interesting hand is the last one.
15, 16.
Bob was more concerned with their.
This is horrible.
I only have 6 points. So I'm
One club.
And I have,
Okay.
let's see, 4 card even distribution, so obviously.
So even
So I'm gonna open,
people might consider the dead and diamond like you call it.
we're not.
so I'm gonna open one.
You're gonna did the spades.
Even if I said a diamond, she would still say it. But it would give you
No,
a clue.
this person said a spade. One space, you put the card out.
I'll give you.
You have to.
I don't know what I did that for.
I'm gonna do the one by myself. You have a clue.
Okay, and you pass it.
Okay. One club, she did a diamond. Partner said one spade.
I got it.
I would, I mean, I don't know.
I get you.
Her first name's Oprah.
If I had, I could tell you, I could play with 2, 3, 4.
I thought that should be a response.
This one, I don't know. There's an ace and a king.
Count up your total points.
So if I just went, if split maybe, I know
15, 19.
these,
It's pretty balanced.
You're too strong.
3, 4, 5. That one as a game, as a trick. This is just a point. Well, you see, if I look
Okay,
at
folks,
it,
so this is the last hand here, and the dealer on this hand is West.
Yes, you do.
So West passes, and look at the North hand. The North hand has 3 points in
He's
spades,
got
4
19,
in
20.
hearts is 7, 4 in diamonds is 11, and 8 in clubs is 19. So they have 19 points in their hand. What would this hand, what would North open with 19 points in their hand based on what you've been taught so far?
One club.
One club is correct. So North will say, North says one club. What does South respond to one club? And there's South's hand. What do they bid? What does South respond? One spade is correct.
Well, you don't know
What
what's
does
on
one
the spade.
spade tell partner?
If you don't see that,
They have
you
at
can't
least
bid
how
that.
many spades? And at least how many points?
So this
6.
is
That's simple.
where to go.
6 enough.
When you say two.
So now,
He's counting.
it gets back to North. North says, well, I got 19. My partner has at least
I'm doing my
6.
thinking for myself.
What's the fewest number of points they have between them?
25.
25 plus, correct? Is 25 plus game?
Yes.
So what do you think North might bid over one spade?
3
Three no trumps. Do they have a fit in spades?
No.
No, they don't have an 8-card fit. So they might bid 3 no trump and 3 no because the person that knows goes. So if North has 19, they know their partner has 6. 19 plus 6 is what? 25. They don't have a fit anywhere. And North has a balanced hand. And so they would probably bid 3 no trump. You'll learn later on in intermediate bridge, there's another bid to describe this hand. But for beginning bridge, I want you to recognize that 19 plus 6 is enough for game, and they would bid 3 no trump. So 3 no trump is the contract by North, they be playing it. Now, the first thing you do when you play a bridge hand is you count your winners, right? How many spade winners do they have between both hands? 4 is correct. Does everybody see how they get 4 winners? Does everybody see that?
that way. We can count 4 that way.
And by the way, in order to take the 4 winners, you always play the honors in the shorthand. So you play the queen of spades, then you play the jack of spades, and then you play a spade of the ace king, so you can end up in the hand that's got the strong spade. So you got 4 spade winners. I will buy that. How many heart winners do you have? 1. How many dime winners do you have? 1. And how many club winners do you have? 2. Let's see. 4 and 1 is 5, and 1 is 6, and 2 is 8. That means you're what? 1 short, right? Again, before you play the first trick, you'll learn this in bridge. For those of you that just learned this game, probably it'll be a little harder because I want to teach you that before you play to the first trick, just take a pause and say, how many winners do I have? Obviously, you already know now because I've gone over this with you. But you say, I have 4 spade winners, 1 heart winner, 1 diamond winner, and 2 club winners. That's only 8. I'm short what? 1. How can I maybe get a 9th winner before they can get 5? Okay? So what suit do you think gives you the best opportunity to get a 9th winner?
Clubs.
How many people think hearts is the suit that gives you? How many people think clubs is a suit? Okay? The answer is clubs. Okay? You're not looking at this hand correctly. Look at the club suit. Look at the club suit, folks. Don't you have the ace, king, jack of clubs? What if the queen of clubs is located favorably in front of the ace, king, jack? Can't you play a club to the jack and hope that the queen, isn't it, where the queen is located, isn't it 50% of the time it might be located in front of the ace, king, jack? If it is, and you play a club to the jack, don't you get an extra trick? If the jack wins? How many tricks do you have now? 9. You've already identified 8 winners. And again, this is called a what?
Finesse.
Finesse. This is called a finesse. You lead a club from here, and you play the what? Jack. If the jack wins, you now have what? 9 winners. Because you're hoping the queen of clubs is where? Down here, in front of the queen. If it's behind the jack, c'est la vie. You weren't going to make an extra trick in clubs to begin with. But don't you have a 50% chance to make an extra trick? Remember, the queen of clubs can only be in 1 or 2 hands. Either in front of the ace, king, jack, or behind it. Does everybody understand what I just said? Okay? The queen of clubs is either going to be in front of the ace, king, jack, or behind it. Remember, you're playing against 2 opponents. One of them has the queen, right? Only one of them has the queen. So, if the queen of clubs is down here, the jack's going to win. If the queen of clubs is up here, then the jack's going to lose. It's either going to be in 1 of 2 hands. And folks, we call that in bridge a finesse. It's just like when you, remember you had the ace queen before, and I gave you an example of a hand, you had the ace queen. If you lead a club to the queen, if the king is behind the queen, you're going to lose. But if the king is in front of the ace queen, aren't you going to gain an extra trick? Does everybody understand what a finesse is? Anybody don't understand what a finesse is? I want to make sure I'm being helpful. Okay? All right. So, the other thing is, folks, let me teach you something else. What are your 2 weak suits on this hand? What are your 2 weak suits on this hand? Hearts and diamonds. Don't you only have 1 stopper? This is very important, folks. I need your attention 100% on this. What are your only 2 weak suits of this hand? Aren't hearts and diamonds both weak suits?
Yes.
You're missing all kinds of honors in hearts and diamonds, right? Unless you can count 9 winners, you can take your tricks. Never, never, never cash your aces and your weak suits. Never. You cash your aces and your weak suits only when you know you can fulfill your contract. So if you can take 9 winners, take your 9 winners. But if you can't take your 9 winners, and the only way to make your 9th trick is by leading a club to the jack, don't take your 8. In other words, if they lead a diamond, don't play the ace of hearts until after you win your 9th trick. Once the jack of clubs wins, then you can cash your spades and everything else. In other words, if you cash prematurely, what is the object of playing bridge? The opponents want to take 5 tricks before you can take what? 9. If you cash all your aces, aren't you setting up the suits for the opponents?
Yes.
Does everybody understand what I'm saying? You're setting up the suits for the opponents by prematurely cashing your aces if you don't have 9 winners. So if you have 9 winners, then you can take your 9 tricks. But if you don't, and the only way to take 9 winners is by leading a club to the jack, and if it wins, then cash the rest of your winners. But if you cash these 2 aces and the jack of clubs loses to the queen, they're going to cash all kinds of red suits against you. They're going to cash 3 diamond tricks against you, maybe 3. You might go down 2, 3, or 4 tricks in the hand because you prematurely cashed your winners in your weak suits. The strategy in bridge is never cash your winners in your weak suits, especially playing no trump. Because in no trump, is there a trump suit in no trump?
No.
No. It's strictly firepower. It's strictly whatever the top cards in the suits are played, they are the ones that are going to win. Okay? What would you lead with the east hand against 3 no trump? Look at the east hand. What would you lead against 3 no trump with the east hand?
No sequence.
5 diamonds.
Five of diamonds is correct. Does everybody see it's fourth from longest and strongest? So does everybody understand why you lead the five of diamonds? Okay. Notice if you lead the five of diamonds, that is that the opponents have hit dynamite. Your partner has the queen, and now you've knocked out the opponent's ace of diamonds. So I shouldn't be teaching you this today, but I'm going to anyway. Whenever the opponents lead a weak suit against you in no trump, lead a weak suit against you in no trump. In this case, if you got to pay attention, because if someone doesn't do this, I'm going to come around and say, I just taught you this. Notice if they lead a diamond, isn't your diamond suit really weak? So if they lead a diamond suit, let them have the first trick. They lead a diamond again, let them have the second trick. So when you win the third diamond, and let's say you lead a club later on, and the jack loses to the queen, this person may not have any more diamonds to lead. Okay? In bridge, we call this a hold-up play. I'm just going to teach you this today only because it's a very helpful tool when you're declaring a hand. So when they lead a weak suit, it's called a hold-up play. You can hold up until you win the ace of diamonds. You're wide open in the suit, so it doesn't hurt to hold up a couple times. All right, North is playing this hand in 3 no trump. The 5 of diamonds is led. You don't have to bid this hand because it's pretty late. I'll let you go ahead and play this hand. Next week, by the way, all you're going to be doing is playing hands. I'm not going to have you bid the hands and play the hands. I'm only going to go over the hands after you bid and play the hands, then I'll go over them. Okay?
So you want to play no diamond?
There's no trump. There's no trump.
Oh, no.
So you want to lead your fourth from your
We know what that is. Good job.
From your
I just laid down my card. Okay.
You want to hold up. Remember I told you you can hold up a couple times. You want to play your highest one. Yep. Always the highest one. Always. Remember I told you about holding that up a couple times? Yeah, just hold up because you're wide open.
You need to make a play.
So you want to
I
hold
thought
up.
I just heard you
Let
make
them
the
have
play
it.
for me. You said play.
Well, then
Now you're playing one, so you want to
Okay,
continue
play
that
the
suit.
Okay.
You want to hold up again, play the 10,
Is this the right time
play
to
the
play
4.
the ace?
Well, he was talking
And you
about-
know there's only one more diamond now, so you can play the 3. That'll
In
force
this case,
out
it doesn't matter.
the 8 diamonds have been played. 9, 10, 11, 12, so you know there's only one left.
Yeah, because you don't want to lose control.
You can play whatever you want, makes no difference. Anything will force out the 8. I like leading the 3 to show off. So let's count your winners now.
Oh, yeah, see, I should have
So
played.
that's 1, 4 there's 5, 6, 7, 8. So you can take all these and throw this away, and then eventually lead that to this right here. So you're on the board. No, you want to play your spades. Your spades are your winners. That's correct. Play the honors and the short hand. The 5. The 8.
Correct play. Play well.
Now you can play that.
That's coming up.
You want to play the queen from your hand. You can come up there. You want to play take the tricks on the short side.
On the board. You want the ace?
Yep.
You, as a player, you call for it. You actually tell this person what to play. So you are in charge.
You're in your, no, you're in
That's right.
You can throw. I'd throw a little hard. You can throw one of your So now you have 5 tricks. Okay, that's 6, 7, 8. So the only way to get a 9th trick now is, remember I told you, by leading this towards your jack. Because where do you want the queen of clubs to be? You're over here. You want to lead from your hand. 2. And where do you want the queen of clubs to be? You want it to be here, in front of you. In front. Yeah.
Hopefully, yeah.
Hopefully. And you want to play low. That's correct. You play the jack and hope. Boy, you're lucky for this.
So now you can cash your winners, because you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can cash your winners. Okay, let's backtrack it and see if you anymore. Quite that bad. The club's back here, and you've got ace, king, jack here. You've got 3 or 4 clubs down here. Give you another chance to play that. And you see, you got 9 winners. Do you understand about the finesse of clubs now?
Yeah.
If you didn't play the ace, king, you'd have gone down, because whoever had the queen would have taken it. You were hoping the queen was favorably located, and that is how a lot of contacts are made by trapping or finessing for the queen. Ace, king, jack. If the queen is here, you make 3. If the queen is there, you make 2. Make your bid. Now, how do you want them to pay you?
What the thing is, in no trouble.
That's okay. Very good. Okay.
If they're out,
I mean,
you're gonna
You're in
win.
your hand with the jack of clubs.
I hope so.
I don't know what.
No.
No, but it's 6.
I took them hard.
Now we have 3 left.
Is this the first one you played? Yeah. Okay. Well, I should have played it that way.
Still not.
You got your 9.
And I'm going to
How we did it.
So I don't know.
Well,
Don't do what I
you
did.
took the last 2, but you got your 9 correct.
Kind of fall to the bottom.
And then how did you get the 9 correct?
There's some.
You only got 8 correct.
Friday at all because
Go that way.
I would think that.
By listening to you.
What did I say? What was the, who was the trick?
Well, I didn't do my finesse the first time.
You should have tried it.
But I did, I went back over it and I played it, I played it.
Some play with him as
And
well.
it worked.
You had only 8 tricks. You were able to count. You want to give yourself a chance to get the right.
I worked really much.
I think we had good
Play that right. And you held up in the diamond suit until the third round. You didn't play your ace of hearts until.
Because you only had 8 winners,
You had your own
the only way to get your 9 correct is to let it club the jack.
Get the film right.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
The reason I get a little frustrated is
You
because
can't win the trick, you never play
when
it.
he's talking and we're
Plays
talking,
the queen,
I
the
don't
ace, and gets
hear very well.
the king, jack.
Oh, yeah. If you,
I had the key, I didn't know what I
Ace, king, jack, or your email. So if you have the email,
Okay.
think about it, just say, ace, queen,
No, if you just type in my email.
here's my king, queen, you make your queen.
I'll give that to you.
Well, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, BJ, 1257.
Oh, I didn't, he would, I thought he
Send me an email and then I'll send you an email with a link.
Never play it on it.
To each session.
Always play it out. Always.
And you can watch until you.
Can't win the trick, why would you waste an hour? So let's say.
And I should,
the king of diamonds.
I should have today's session uploaded by tomorrow. I might have it done later this evening. Oh, yeah, that's no problem. I've been sort of busy the last month.
In this case, when it comes to red,
What's that? Yes, I do this. Film a football game every Friday night. St. Albert or AL or DJ or whoever's playing. Haven't filmed
Okay,
it all.
folks.
Like last night I was in the center filming football games. That's 2 hours north, and then a week ago, Monday night, I was in
So how many people made
Forest
3
City,
notes from?
which is 4 hours away. So I didn't get home until 2 in the morning.
Oh, you didn't play the queen with your short suit. You played the queen, then the jack.
Last night, I got done editing the football game about 4
Always
in the
play the
morning, so
short.
I'm operating on about 4 hours of sleep in the last day
Folks,
and a half.
I want to bring up one thing
On those spring
that'll
chicken
help
nuggets.
you. I'm just going to go ahead and write this on the board real quick. Let's say you have a suit like this. Or another suit like this.
In order to get 4 tricks from each suit, always, 100%, always play the honors from what? The shorthand. So in this case, you play the ace, queen, and then you play the ace, queen, then the 3 to the king, jack. Here you play the queen, jack, and then the 2 to the ace, king. If you don't do that, watch what happens. Let's say you play this first, okay? Now you play the 3 to the ace, and now you play the queen. How do you get back to the good jack? How do you get back to it? So when you have 4 tricks in the suit, always play the honors from the short suit. And this is like, if you have a hand like this, again, you play the king, then you play the 2 to the ace, queen, jack, so you can take 5 tricks in that suit. You play the honors from the short hand always first. Otherwise, you may have 4 tricks, and all of a sudden they become what? 3, because you can't get back to the 4th one. Okay? So, but that's a good lesson. I'm glad that actually happened, because that's something I want to make sure that we understand. Does everybody understand what I just said here? Does that make sense? I like it when people go like this. You guys all have a nice week.
You too.
I need to go ahead and text you again for at least 3 and 4.